French President Emmanuel Macron is set to host the Sultan of Oman at the Elysée Palace this Monday as Haitham Ben Tariq kicks off a two-day visit to France. The two leaders are expected to discuss regional security amid escalations in Iran and address the security of maritime routes, which depend on free and unconditional passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Well, we're going to get more analysis on this story with Matthew-Mary Caruchet from our International Affairs Desk. Hi, Matthew-Mary. Tell us then, how influential is Oman as a mediator in the Middle East?
Well, Oman has been a central player in basically every diplomatic issue in the Middle East, well, especially in the Gulf, for the last 40 years. It's self-styled as the Switzerland of the Middle East. It enjoys cordial ties with the U.S., with all the Gulf states, and even with Iran, and it maintains diplomatic embassies that are much larger than a country of its size would normally have. And what's really unique is its relationship with Iran. It has open ties with it that no other state in the Gulf has. And this has allowed it to have a lot of diplomatic achievements. In the 1980s, at the start of the Iran-Iraq War, Oman did everything it could to keep that war from spreading into being a conflict involving the Gulf states as well, and has really kept the Gulf Cooperation Council from becoming an anti-Iran military alliance, instead to really only focus on economics. When the U.S. under Barack Obama signed the nuclear treaty with Iran in 2015, most of the work to get to that point was done in Oman. It was also where all the talks happened between Saudi Arabia and Iran for them to reestablish diplomatic relations after they were broken off in 2016. And then in 2023, when Syria, which was then an ally of Iran, was readmitted into the Arab League, that was all of Oman's doing. But Oman has also had friendly relationships with the West. It negotiated the release of 2 American hostages held by Yemen's Houthi rebels in 2015, and was the first Gulf country to welcome an Israeli leader in 1994, even though the country never officially recognized it.
Well, this diplomatic powerhouse has been largely pushed aside, though, especially in the latest conflict between Iran and the U.S.
Indeed. Even before and after the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran in February, clandestine talks were taking place in Oman in order to lessen tensions. But that didn't last very long at all. At the height of the war, Sultan Haitham Ben Tariq congratulated Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei on his appointment as supreme leader after the U.S. killed his father in strikes. And that did not sit well at all with Donald Trump. Trump has demanded complete and utter loyalty from the U.S.'s Gulf allies. And so in return, Trump moved talks to Islamabad and even began threatening threatening Oman, saying that if it assented to Iran's plans to put tolls on the Strait of Hormuz, that it would, quote, blow them up.
All right, so is this visit by the Sultan to France kind of a way of trying to reassert Oman as a more major diplomatic player?
Yeah, it's an important diplomatic step for Oman, which has been, since for the past few months, walking a tightrope between the U.S. and Iran. Both the U.S. and Iran see whatever happens in the Strait of Hormuz as their way of claiming victory in the war. The U.S. wants to return to the way it was before the war, where boats could pass free of charge and freely. But Iran wants to put in tolls. Iran wants all of the boats to pass through the northern part of the strait where it can assert control. And Oman has been playing both sides. It's not really clear where Oman stands. Last Tuesday, Oman published a statement with Iran in which they said that they would discuss how to operate the waterway and the costs associated with that, implying that there would be tolls. But then on Thursday, Oman told the Gulf Cooperation Council that no, there will be no tolls and everything will be free. And then since then, Oman officials have been telling their allies that, yes, there will be tolls and it will cost money. So everything is up in the air. And that is really what France is probably going to hone in on today. Emmanuel Macron has said, no, there should be no tolls in Hormuz, and that is a line that cannot be crossed. And this is also a chance for France to reassert itself diplomatically. It also has been sidelined. France and Britain have been working since March to try to have a coalition in order to reopen Hormuz, to demine it, and to escort the 2,000 tankers and cargo ships that are trapped there. But so far, Donald Trump has been lackluster and has shown almost no public support for any of Europe's plans.